I gave my honest review for Terminus, Citadel Day More, and the Tomb, and for the Mansion map, we officially know the new zombie's name that it's going to have, being Shattered Veil. Now, I just gotta already say that name is by far better than just something generic like the Mansion or the Tomb, and I will say, though, that the logo, it kind of looks a little mid. I'm not going to lie. It's kind of a whatever type of logo. But regardless, I do think the name of this map does actually have a lot of significance with what they're trying to do. Now, this is actually a character from Black Ops 4's Chaos storyline called Josiah Shem. And so this guy is kind of going in with what Treyarch is trying to do with the name of the map, shattering the veil of all of the storylines in Call of Duty Zombies. We're going to be seeing a bunch of stuff from the Dark Ether, a bunch of stuff obviously from Chaos, and so that I think is probably my biggest expectation for this map so far, being something that we see a massive convergence in all of the storylines. Even they showed off part of the Mansion in the Modern Warfare 3 storyline at the end of that game. We're obviously now going to have the reminiscence of the Chaos storyline plus the convergence of the Dark Ether storyline with Richtofen and the Samantha boss fight. And here we have some sort of cool drawing that Treyarch says, I think there may be something more significant about this house, something beyond even my understanding, perhaps beyond even my fears. Kind of generic. I mean, this really does look like a drawing that we would see Samantha do back in Der Eisendrache for Black Ops 3, but it does kind of seem like they're going to be some sort of massive lore potential with this map, and I think that would be my biggest expectation, along with it just lasting longer than the Tomb. I feel like the Tomb was such a short-lived zombies map at this point, and that is why I'm hoping for something more than what we got from both of those maps. And then obviously, this is going to be the Samantha AI. Now, we don't actually know if this is going to be more of a helper or more of a boss, but judging by the layout of this mainframe chamber, it kind of looks like another Sophia character where you walk up here, activate this panel, and then the Sophia AI talks to you potentially through the Dark Ether, which I actually think would be better considering so many people were thinking that this was going to be the boss fight. And now a lot of people are thinking that this T-Rex is either going to be a trap or a boss fight in and of itself. Now, granted, I think it would be better as a boss fight, kind of like how Citadel Day More teased the Guardian boss fight right at the spawn room, and then he just sort of ends up being there. That would be very similar to what we saw in the Liberty Falls intro cutscene, just because I don't know how exactly they're going to make it just another generic Samantha boss fight, especially when this whole asset for the Samantha AI character here was literally in the Forsaken Cold War Zombies map. I feel like it just wouldn't work out too well, and I definitely think having a T-Rex would be way better, considering that we've always wanted to have some sort of form of dinosaurs in Call of Duty Zombies, and to me, that would actually give the map much more of like a Dead of the Night flair, where this map's real theme, when you look back on it, was the Dracula, Nosferatu sort of dark nighttime theme, and now it seems like we're kind of going into a new version of it, where it's more of a way to bring back the Chaos storyline, to bring the Dark Ether also into the map, and obviously make it something more enjoyable than just a generic, bland sort of Tomb type experience. Ultimately, though, I think that is the highest expectation I have for this map, is that the story itself will be something worthwhile to at least check out. Hopefully, there are some good cutscenes, but I am gonna have to say, if we do not have Nolan North either as a character part of this map, voice lines across the map, or the announcer, 0 out of 10 map, especially because of how much that they have been advertising that Richtofen is finally going to come back. I mean, it's literally called Shattered Veil. All of the stuff that they've been hiding behind the veil is about to be shattered, which is why I better see Richtofen and actual voice quotes inside of this map, or else genuinely, I don't care how the map plays, straight 0 out of 10. But ultimately, we already know a lot of the gameplay aspects that are going to be a part of this map, like the Wunderwaffe, the Riga Mark II, Double Tap, and potentially, hopefully, some good augments as well for Double Tap. And ultimately, I don't really expect too much from the gameplay side. Honestly, if I were to give you a generalized expectation, my hope would just be that it's better than the Tomb in terms of the replayability aspect. And I hope at least with all the storyline convergences that they're able to somewhat craft a better Easter egg than what the Tomb was. Even though the Tomb's Easter egg I actually did quite like, it was quite simplistic and easy. I just want something that's more, especially when they're bringing out all of the assets that they have been keeping into Call of Duty Zombies since literally 2018 with this map, man. It's just kind of going to be embarrassing if we get such little storyline dialogue with it. Now, I do think in terms of gameplay wise that this map is obviously going to play more of like a World at War Zombies map where it's fairly constricted, very dark. A lot of the building is going to be much more abandoned and a lot less nice looking, I would even say, than even what you're seeing on the screen right now with Dead of the Night. And so that is something that I'm actually quite excited to see, because I don't think Treyarch has really decided to design a zombies map like a gritty World at War type of map in a long time. However, am I excited for the Wunderwaffe? Not really. Am I excited for the Raygun Mark IIs after Alpha Omega? Also not really. And so, in terms of the gameplay aspect, to be quite honest, I think that is probably going to be the weakest part of this map. And if the storyline doesn't deliver, then unfortunately, I feel like this is going to be yet another Tomb type of experience where it doesn't really satisfy the gameplay itch nor the story itch. And I'm going to be honest, the Black Ops 6 storyline needs something drastic to get players involved, and that is why I'm really hoping we get to see that in this map, or else nobody is really going to be caring for the final Zombies map coming for DLC 4, potentially being Janus Towers. And ultimately, it's kind of funny because I think I'm actually more excited for that Janus Towers style Zombies map just because Die Rise just got remastered, and we might be getting a second potential shot of having a Zombies map that's more vertically themed than anything that we've seen literally since Die Rise. And so that is something that I actually am personally excited for, just because I think Die Rise was one of the most unique layouts to a Call of Duty Zombies map ever. And if that is something that we're pivoting to, it could be really interesting to see how the storyline ends, and obviously how Primus is also introduced into the storyline for the next Call of Duty Zombies game. And then obviously, if you haven't checked out all of the Black Ops 7 zombie potential maps that might be in the game, it's going to be amazing. Honestly, there's going to be like a Japanese temple with a volcano. There might even be a setting of New York after the Second World War. We might even have a space station map. Like, there's so many cool ideas. Ultimately, I just really hope, especially for the next game with the Black Ops 2 sequel, that we move away from rarities, that we move away from the triple pack-a-punch system, and that we bring back the old point system. Those would be the three main things that I think, if they actually did and didn't actually commit to utilizing all of the Warzone nonsense in all of Call of Duty Zombies, we could actually have much more unique experiences. I feel like so many people right now just don't care about Black Ops 6 just because we already know that the best thing in this next Shattered Veil map is going to be spamming the mutant injections, right? Because the Raygun Mark II usually drops off at round 50, and the Wunderwaffe doesn't probably going to do a lot of damage against the boss zombies. So gameplay-wise, I'm not really excited, but for my expectations for this map, honestly, I would say it's a 4 out of 10.